Lesson number 9, daily summary. In this lesson, we use real-world data to find equations of lines. We then use our equations to solve problems. According to a report in USA Today, sales for personal breathalyzers have spiked in recent years. The CEO of Wintergreen Research reported that the 2009 personal breathalyzer market was valued at $215 million, up from $28 million in 2005. We will assume that sales are growing at a constant rate. Part A, define the two variables for this situation, identify which is the independent and which is the dependent, including units. Okay, so the two variables we have 2009 and 2015. So that is one of our variables. It is time. And so right here in blue, time is one of our variables. And then the other variable is the 215 million and the 28 million, and that is the value of the market. Personal breathalyzers market. So we've got time and we've got, I guess I should say, market value. Time and market value are our two variables, and we want to know which one depends on the other. So I will tell you, if time is in a problem, it is almost certainly the independent variable. Time is passing behind the scenes, and time could care less what the personal breathalyzer market is doing. So time doesn't change because the personal breathalyzer market changes. But the other direction, the market time passes behind the scenes, and as a result, the market value changes. That's the relationship. So that makes time the independent variable. So let's say that T is time, and then let's put in years. And then market value is the other variable. So you could use M, but just thinking forward, we know we're going to do like an MX plus B kind of thing, and M is typically reserved for slope. So I'm not going to use M here because I've already got M representing slopes. How about we do P for personal breathalyzer market? So P is equal to market value in market value in, I'm going to leave a little blank space here. I'm going to put dollars over here. Okay, so these are our two variables, time in years and market value in dollars. And now we are going to translate the paragraph into two ordered pairs. So the first pair has to do with the 2009 and the 215 million. So we'll write it in parentheses with a comma in between. So remember, time is your independent variable, so we put that one first in the X position. So the first year I see is 2009, and then 215 million. And so according to our variables, we actually have to write 2009 and 215 million with all of those zeros there. Totally fine to do that, but I'm going to make some changes here to make this problem more friendly for us. Instead of saying time in years, which requires us to put 2009, I'm going to say time in years since, and then I'm going to pick a number that's near 2009, a little bit earlier than 2009, but that's really nice, has lots of zeros at the end. I'm going to say years since 2000. And that allows me to make the following a very friendly change. Instead of 2009, we just put 9. And I would much rather deal with the number 9 in my calculations than with the number 2009. Okay, and then P is market value in dollars. Well, putting dollars there required us to put 215 million, literally with those 6 zeros. But if instead we capture the millions in the definition of P, and we say millions of dollars, that allows us to just put 215 instead of 215 with all the zeros. So our new user-friendly ordered pair is 9, 215. There was no problem with the number, the pair we had before, 2009 and 215 million with all 6 zeros. But this is equivalent, and it's just going to be a lot friendlier for us. All right, let's take a look at the other ordered pair, 2005. So that is 5 years from 2000. And it's up from 28 million. Some students think they're supposed to subtract like 215 minus 28. No. It's just 28 million. We're telling you it was 28 million, not that it went up 28 million. And now that we have two ordered pairs, we can do our very standard intermediate algebra process of writing the equation of a line that hits 2 points. So let's do our standard process. Typically, y equals mx plus b, but in our case, it isn't that. It's, let's see, so y is the output, the dependent variable, which in this case is personal breathalyzer market. And then x is the input, which is time. So using our letters for this problem, it's p equals mt plus b. Then we need to calculate the slope, so let's do that next. So slope is typically delta y over delta x, but it's not those letters, it's delta p over delta t. So we subtract the p's, 215 minus 28, divide by, and then we subtract the t's, 9 minus 5. Okay, so 15, 13, I think that's 187. Divide by 4. I think it's 46.5. Just gonna cheat and check the answer. 46, oh, 46.75. What did we do wrong here, gang? 187. Oh, it's 46.75. Easy when you look at the answer. All right, so feel free to use a calculator there. I probably should have. Okay, so I think we're good there. Yeah, so that is the slope, and then we're going to plug that into our equation right here. P equals 46.75 t plus b. I like putting a star next to that one because we're going to come back to that one once we figured out the value of b. So we're going to plug in the coordinates of either of our points. We've got 2 of them up there. Either one is fine. I've got smaller numbers in this one, so I'm just going to use that one. Okay, so let's plug in the 5 and the 28. So we go 28 equals 46.75 times 5 plus the b. 28 equals, okay, so I think I've learned my lesson about my ability to do arithmetic at this moment in time, so we're just going to bail out and go to the calculator here. So we're doing 46.75 times 5. And then we're going to take that number, which will be right here, and subtract it from both sides. So we're going to do 28 minus 233.75. So that will be our b. So this is 233.75, and then b turns out to be negative 205.75. Did I remember that number? I did. Okay, so that is our value of b. We're going to check our answer. They got it right this time. Okay, and then we go to our starred equation and just write our final answer. P equals 46.75 t, and then minus 205.75. So that is the equation of the line that connects the 2 data points that were given in that paragraph about the personal breathalyzer market. Interpret the meaning of the slope in this context, write a sentence in plain English. So for slope interpretation, I always need to have some units. So let's write some units. Up on top was this delta P. What was that measured in? Well, that was the value. Yeah, that was the value of the personal breathalyzer market, which was millions of dollars. And then on the bottom was delta T, and that was measured in years. Technically years since 2000, but that part doesn't matter. It's just years when we subtract. And so then the 46.75 is $46.75 million over years, or said another way, $1 million per year. Something was changing at $46.75 million per year. What was changing? The thing that's changing for slope is always the output variable, the dependent variable. So it's the personal breathalyzer market was changing at $46.75 million per year. So we'll just write that. The personal breathalyzer market was, so I'm just going to kind of be cheesy here and just say it was changing. But probably better would be to say was growing or was increasing, because that captures the fact that 46.75 is positive. But we can just say it was changing at $46.75 million per year. That was the rate at which the personal breathalyzer market was growing. Part E, predict the value of personal breathalyzers that will be sold in 2028, and then write a sentence. Okay, so we've got our orange equation right there. We just need to figure out that 2028, is it a value of P or T? Well, 2028 is a year, that's a time. So we're going to plug 2028 in for time, except T is years since 2000. So the quick translation is that this is really t equals 28, not literally 2028, but just 28. So here's our orange equation again, but with that substitution. P equals 46.75 times 28 minus 205.75. And then let's get the calculator to help us out. 1103.25. Quick check of the key. Great. I got spooked when I made that arithmetic mistake, so we're checking the key all the time now. So then our sentence here, in 2028, we predict the personal breathalyzer market will be valued at $1103.25 million. Got to get the word million in there. It's true that the value of P, according to our equation, is just 1103.75. No millions there, but embedded in the definition of P was our choice, was to put the word millions. It would be friendlier to say instead of 1,100 million, would be better to say like 1.1 billion, but this answer is okay too.